Hello, I'm Chris Athanas. I'm a KMP developer, and I just scoot over a little bit so you can see my tech support problem. All right, I'm going to do a watch along and with you about this. Google says core web vitals do not matter. I was like, the first time I heard this was I was doing this Hack Reactor course a few years ago, and it was an awesome course at the time. I don't know, it's probably crap now. But because they shut it down and they're galvanized or something. I don't know about that. Anyway, so they made a big deal about this. Oh, I guess your website has to come up within 0.2 seconds. You must see something on the screen within 3 seconds, or just click away. It's like, well, depends on what they're looking for, right? That was my point. I was like, I don't know if that's right, guys. I think we're spending a lot. I mean, it's good to know how to optimize your site for, image loading and, get something on the screen. Like, you don't want to wait 10 minutes for it to pop up. I went to this DJI Mexico site, and it takes like 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 8, 9, 10 seconds, sometimes 20, 15 seconds. But I wanted that drone, so I dealt with it. And that's the only way you get it in Mexico. So I was like, all right, well, unless you want to go to Amazon and, pay 10% more. And it's like, okay, well, I don't want to pay the 10%. So I did. All right, let's keep going. So responsiveness, it is a concern, but it's not a primary concern. It depends on who your audience is and what you're doing and what your costs are and how much time you want to mess with that versus something else.
I always felt that SEOs who harped on the importance of core web vitals and having great page speed scores, the ones who did that, I always felt that they weren't actually interested in results, and they were instead fear-mongering to get more money from their clients. This is the post that I'm sharing from the SEO subreddit today. It's called Google's Team Let Slip That Core Web Vitals Site Speed Just Isn't That Important. And the comments in this are wild. I've been saying this for years. Whenever people would send me one of my sites and be like, well, it's not that fast, as if that was a huge problem. First of all, my sites are fast enough. They load fast for anybody who tries them. A lot of them don't pass core.
I mean, maybe this was really important when people are still hitting the internet with dial-up or really slow internet speeds, but now everybody's got these 100 megabits. I mean, I live here in Mexico, in the middle of nowhere, and they have 100 megabit internet, and it's decent. I've tested a lot. When I first got here, it was 10 megabit, and that was like acceptable. I could do Zoom calls and stuff on it, so even then it was fine. But like maybe 5-10 years ago, it was like 1 megabit. Yeah, that'd be kind of, you do kind of want to optimize your thing. But now, why even mess with it? Like that was my point even 5 years ago. Like, the stuff is like, I think we're spending too much time on this. I mean, I'm glad I know how to optimize it, but it's the real simple stuff. Like, don't make your images super huge, and don't load all your scripts unless you need that to try and load them in as the pages need them, not the whole app at one time. Yeah, let's keep going.
Core web vitals. And I would try to explain to these people, I don't care. It doesn't matter. What matters is how the user feels, is how the visitor feels. And these other people who would try to fearmonger or try to flex their superiority would be like, look at my core web vitals. And I'd be like,
there was a thing, and that's what I got. I think they might call this bike shedding. It's like, you're talking about the wrong thing. Yes, that stuff is something to be aware of, but it's more important to get traction and have customers. Like, instead of having your web vitals be 1,000%, but you have no customers, so you're concentrating on the wrong thing. Yes, they did make us think about this, and it's so fun to see them like, nah, it doesn't really matter.
Like, okay, well, look at my rankings. They're way better. All right, so this is what I'm getting hyped. This is what this thread says. It's a crazy thread on Reddit. There have been some spirited discussions, so we thought we'd reshare this. We know this will cause a debate, as so many people in SEO say core web vitals is super important. It is not. It's not even a tiebreaker because these situations are impossible to create. It's just not a factor. The too long didn't read is, only fix site speed issues if you feel your site is just way too slow to load. Google, again, has downplayed the importance.
Like DJI Mexico, they should really fix their site. I mean, just vertically make their system, like their whatever web server they're running it on, because it seems to be only on one computer. Just make it beefier, get more RAM, make it a faster CPU or something. But like the way it's running now, it's like, are you serious?
Of core web vitals as a Google
DJI in Mexico. You can go to the website. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Search ranking signal. Google's Martin Splitt said in a video yesterday, also, core web vitals aren't as important as some people might think. And now page speed is considered a teeny tiny ranking factor by Google. And then there's a crazy...
Oh, see, they told us it wasn't. They made a really big deal about this too. And they said it was a big factor with how they ranked it. You can go back and look. I'm sure. Well, maybe the Wayback Machine's still up. But yeah, they made a big stink about this. So the guys on the inside scoop, they really let us know what the deal was. Like, instead of concentrating on like, hey, look, man, you gotta work to get something into somebody's hands to make them see like that you're able to, give them value, and that's how you're gonna get going, and not this. Oh, your ranking? How many does it take? 0.2 seconds or 0.7? Because the customer really cares about that. It's like, now,
easy long list
this
of
is
articles
great.
downplaying
Like, I had my spidey senses went up about this. I'm like, I don't really think that's what it's true, but I guess if you guys really know the inside scoop, inside skinny, it turns out it was just a scam. Not like my conspiracy-minded self. I'm able to like, oh, this seems kind of fishy. This doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me. Like somebody's working out some kind of dealio that I don't quite understand. I can't figure out exactly what's going on here, but I know somebody's putting famous, trying to put the kayfabe on me.
core web vitals and site speed. So this is the top comment. This is when it starts getting wild. It's like conspiracy theories now. And personally, I enjoy reading this stuff. So the top comment says, they didn't let it slip. They've been saying it wasn't a significant ranking factor for a long time. And then another person
Oh, no. They were, okay, well, they haven't really been getting the message out because people still making this a huge big deal. And it is one of the ways you can actually get clients. I'm just not going to say, but like you can get clients which tell them, hey, I can speed up your. If I go and get clients at DJI Mexico, hey, I can speed up your thing if you pay me, right? So I mean,
comments and says, okay, if that's the case, why would they have it in Google Search Console? If it's not significant, why would they have it in Google Search Console? And here's the conspiracy theory, because a few years ago, they were trying to scare everyone into making their websites faster. That way, it costs less resources to crawl websites. And it was all
save a couple bucks. Perfect.
all about Google's bottom line. And then somebody commented on that and said, yeah, Google definitely pushed the speed is critical message, not just for users, but also to cut down on their own crawling resources. It's a win-win.
I knew it. I knew it.
Websites are faster, which helps users, and Google doesn't have to spend as much to index slow-loading sites. But the shift was more about efficiency on Google's end. Now it's a bit more user experience, conversion rates, and user retention. So yeah, the scare tactics were more about their resources than any SEO game changer. This really reminds me of the Google API leak in May, where the SEOs like me who are like, okay, pay attention to actually what is happening and not what Google says that they want, but pay attention to what actually works. The SEOs who were saying that turned out to be the winners. And the people who are the most angry.
Isn't it more important to concentrate on what your customers want and need and trying to figure out how to make the site or give them the stuff that they want or give them the features they want or something special, the thing that you're delivering, how to make it deliverable to them? And if it's not speed, and if they're not asking for speed, they're asking for other stuff, do the other stuff. Forget about the speed until they start asking. It's like, oh my God, your site's so slow. It's like, there's so many ways to fix it now. It's really not as big of an issue as it used to be.
Were the people who treated Google representatives' words like the Bible. And it was just free.
Yeah, see? That's what I figured. So the hack actor people, they're all like, oh, I know people like Google. It's like, yeah, but who are you like? Do you know a guy at Google? Or do you know some marketing manager who's trying to improve search statistics so he can lower the bill for Google?
For years, I have so many sites that have great rankings. I don't think any of them passed Core Web Vitals. I think they all failed. And I'm like, wow, this just doesn't matter. And when I see people who really focus on it, I'm just like, you're
focusing on the wrong things. You're focusing on the wrong stuff. And that's where all these companies, people are like, I gotta get a job. I can't find a place. It's like, you gotta do something that's like really has customers. They gotta have customers. And that's been the thing that's missing in a lot of this conversation is that people go, I got technology, I can deploy a website, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but do you have customers? So are you giving something somebody needs? Have you tried to find that? Well, it's not big enough for me. It's not big enough for market. It's like, well, that's the whole thing. Is like, you got to find a market for your skills. This is the AI future. Hello, we're here.
You must not really have real results if this is your focus. But I'm going to share more of that actually in this thread. By the way, I want to share why I'm so hyped. Compact Keywords, my SEO program, which I've been working on since February. It's live. You can go to compactkeywords.com, purchase it. Everything works. Okay. Compact Keywords, I'm freaking so happy. I've literally been working on this since February. I've stayed up until 2:30 a.m. for the last 3 nights working on this. Just sitting here working on this like a madman. Crazy grind for the past slow site. If it negatively affects user experience too much, well, that's definitely a big problem for Google. People are bouncing. Google can see that. They have Chrome data. Google can see that. So this is what the comments say. A shit user experience drives other metrics, such as a user leaving fast and never coming back to your slow
there's other things. There's other things driving people leaving your site, like a bunch of pop-ups. Like, hey, you want to subscribe? Hey, you got 10% off. Here, spin a wheel. Like Timo down here. You can spin a wheel. I just want to see your product. No, we're on a game show now. Hey, we're calling in from. Where are you calling in from? I just you're on The Price is Right. I'm like, I just want to look at your deals, and I think I'm not going to go back.
Site again. If they have worked out that a poorly performing site affects other metrics, then why wouldn't they convey the cause rather than just say most people never return to your site? You can't act on that, but you can improve a known roadblock. Slow sites cause a ripple effect. When a user has a bad experience, it leads to high bounce rates, low engagement, and ultimately lower return visits. Instead of just pointing out the symptom, most people never return, focusing on fixing the root cause, like so slow performance gives you something actionable. It's not about blaming the user for leaving, it's about removing the roadblocks. Improving site speed addresses this pain point directly and can drastically improve user retention and conversion rates, which are a metric that matter for growth. And while that is true,
okay, so you get on the page faster and it gives you the pop-up, and that's okay. Well, let's speed up the thing. It's still leaving because the pop-ups, ding dong.
It's really only in extremes. And another comment actually says this. This other comment says, I think it is overplayed on conversion rates. If you have something people want, they aren't going to care if your page loads in 2.2 seconds or 2.8 seconds. They will wait. And all of the data that I personally have seen agrees with this. It's only an issue on the extremes. So
that's why it's important. Like to meet a customer need. They're going to give them a reason to come to your site and wait the 0.4 seconds or more.
Page takes 15 seconds to load, that's different and could frustrate the visitor. Hell, I order from Panera all the time and their damn page loads like shit, but I want to eat Panera, so I wait. Actually, Neil Patel just released a study, and it was the top reason that people abandon their carts in e-commerce. And at the bottom of the list, what was one of the least important was long wait times. If people want it, they will wait. They will go through long hoops. They will go through terrible user experience if they really want it. So this is another person echoing all the arguments that I got into over this. This person said 1,000,000%. However, I got into some nasty arguments with some people last week about it. Just last week, there's still a trove of folks who are so into this, like it's the number one factor. And it's true. Some people will die on this hill. And to the people who will die on this
hill. Yeah, it's because there's a lot of autistic. Wow. Here's the news flash, guys. There's a lot of autistic, kind of Aspergy, kind of little detail-oriented people who love to get into the details of all the numbers and statistics. So there are lots of people like that in this field because to understand how these machines work and understand all this very sophisticated things you have to know about and all the details and have that all kind of straighten up in you got to have this analytical mind that can deal with that. And they think they can just use that same skill on everything, including like diagnosing why your cart's being abandoned, being, your load time's too slow. We got a way to speed that up.
Still, here's what I have to say. I'm going to cite this guy. This guy goes, I can attest to this. I totally redid my site last year. It's now blazing fast, even with lots of high quality imagery, getting 4 times perfect 100 scores on Google PSI and Debugger and GT metrics as well, including performance. Yet here it is. Yet our Google ranking and number of website generated inquiries has barely changed, if at all. Why?
There we go. There it is. There it is, because it's something you either don't have the right customer, you don't have the right product, you don't have the right service, you're not going to the right market. You're not in the right location. You haven't found your audience yet. You haven't found the people who want your stuff. Or people just don't want your stuff. And you need to find other stuff that people want. I don't know. Welcome to the United States of America.
Because I have very few backlinks and content is pretty static, I should at least add a blog page for the latter issue. But thanks for this post. It is persuading me that I really need to change my focus. It's really easy, especially for non-professionals, to fall into the speed trap given past Google statements.
Yes, because that is what all these companies can guarantee that you can get is faster. They can sell you that, they can serve it to you, and it's 100% guaranteed they're going to get something faster. Yeah. So, but that's not. It's like a what's a red herring? It's like you should be. Need to meet my customers' needs better, but no, I'm red herring. Should make my site faster for 7 months.
Plus, as others have mentioned, the whole industry geared toward making money from that. And this is a post that I really like about agents.
Yeah, by the way, I didn't know if anybody is a newsflash, but the whole this tech computer industry is all sales driven. I didn't know. I know it's really kind of a shocker to hear. Advertising and sales drives the whole tech industry. I know it's a shocker. I know it's really hard to take it all in. I thought we were trying to make a new, different society, advance mankind with knowledge, and awareness of all the time and space, history. No, it's just sales. Okay, welcome to America.
Agencies pushing it, SEO agencies, digital marketing agencies. So the person said, yep, makes perfect sense why agencies would push.
We're talking about jobs, people's jobs here. We're talking about making money. We're talking about sales. We're talking about jobs. We're talking about having braces on the kids and buying a house and a BMW and a vacation every couple days. Every year, a vacation twice a year. No, good schools. That stuff doesn't. Is this America? Come on.
Push it. It's pretty development intensive, requires little to no SEO knowledge, and it shows the user a nice, pretty green 100% scorecard. Agency makes a lot of money, client feels good, and no impact.
It's super repetitive work, easy sell, especially when they got the Google reps pushing it super hard. Easy sell, get people on the sales funnel, get them sold, get them in the pipeline, improve their stats, and collect the check and good luck.
Is made whatsoever on their performance. I love running the core web vitals of sites that tout it as their selling point, only to see their own site fail with flying colors. They did it with a large agency as well as a huge website builder platform advertising how good they were for core web vitals. Won't name them, but take a guess their site was failing. Agencies would make and I've seen this myself, and I'm not going to name names now, but
you don't have to. It's industry standard. It's the way Google says it should be. So guess what? Automatic sales. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Come on.
Seen this myself. Agencies make a ton of money promoting how important core web vitals are because it can push clients, it can get clients down the road without actually getting real results. And lots of agencies don't know how to get real results.
It's getting real results is super hard, man. People just don't want to. They want to do the thing that's already been done. They want to copycat somebody. That's the standard thing. To actually find a new market with a new product or a new service or a new offering. That's super hard, man. Welcome to America.
Another comment, it's not so much a factor for SEO, but it does make your users happy when a site loads fast, helps boost conversions, and reduces bounce rates. Maybe. It definitely plays an important role. But, I kind of agree with the other person who said it doesn't boost conversions that much. If somebody wants something, they're going to wait. It only really matters to the extremes. That's what I really believe. It matters to the extremes. And so if you want to test something, how do you do it? You send your site or your page to your friends and to your family and to people in different places. That is the best way to test it. And I've said this, and
No, I go over that in another video. That's not the best way to test it, buddy. Because you obviously haven't done it, because that's bad advice. Your friends and family say, no, it's the greatest thing ever. You should launch it today. No. Okay, I'll let you know what the secret is. You have to find a customer. You have to actually find someone who's willing to pay for whatever the hell it is that you're putting out there. And how do you find that? Guess what? Trial and error. That's why when you find something and people actually pay you money for it, it's incredible. And it's not always what you think it should be, not always what the advice or what you hear everyone, and it's not what your friends and family think is awesome. It's like, ask them if they want to buy it. Well, that's not really fair, because your friends and family, if they love you, they will support you and they'll lie to you. So you need to find a stranger who will buy it, and then you got something. That's the secret. That's it. That's a trial and error. And how long does that take? Well, that's how long it takes. Is how long it takes. The founder of Kentucky Fried Chicken, Colonel Sanders, 63 years old before he found KFC and figured out how to do it. And so it could be a long time. So buckle up, Buttercup. We're in for a long ride. Here we go.
I practice this myself. I am always sending my websites or my pages to friends around the world to have them test it. It's not enough if it's fast for you or if it's slow for you. You need to see what happens.
Buddy, it's your customer, so you can step it up again. I know it's scary. I know it's scary to try this on actual real paying people that pay money. I know it's scary. I know. It takes skin in the game. I get it. But that's how you actually only way you're gonna know.
With other people in other places, using different internet service providers, different devices, etc. Here's the last comment I'm going to share. Person says, I see so many SEOs always cite the page speed of a site when it comes to why a site may not rank that well, but the truth is, from what I understand, the only way page speed impacts a site's rankings in Google is if the site is unbearably slow. If your site is a drop faster than the next, it won't rank a drop higher than the next, but if your site isn't...
What's a drop? 0.1%, 1%, 10%? Order of magnitude, 10 times faster, 100 times faster? Some of this stuff does make a difference. It depends on what you're doing, right? If you got to have super high latency if you're doing some kind of game or video feed from a drone or something like that. Yeah, you can't mess around with that. But if you're just checking your order, and then you really want the thing, people will wait. I waited like 10 seconds every single time I went to the page because I wanted the drone. And I put up with it.
Incredibly slow. Google may demote the site, and that's what I've been saying. That's what lots of other people have been saying. This is episode 553 of my digital marketing podcast. Don't obsess over page speed. Don't do it. Obsess over the things that matter. Obsess over user intent. Obsess over having your keyword in the right places. Your page title, the beginning of your page title, beginning of your meta description, beginning of your H1, beginning of the first sentence of your page, in your URL slug. That matters. Obsess over thinking about what.
Yes, that's the basic stuff, but organic. They're figuring out how to do this stuff. It's got to be organic driven and stuff. But even then, I mean, just got to find your customers. You got to find your people. You got to find the people you're going to serve. That's really the biggest thing. Is like people don't want they want to skip this whole thing about finding customers because it's hard as hell and it takes forever. You put a work in and nothing happens, and you go like, "What the fuck?" Or you like do some goofy thing that you're into on the side, like wherever you're just thinking about it. All of a sudden, 25 people are like, "Ooh, can you show me how to do that? How you do that? Would you get a tool to do that?" It's how it is. It's crazy. This world's crazy. All right, give me a like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.